Hello and welcome to Country Life Simple. Today I've got the pleasant task to clean up my chest freezer. I bought a chest freezer and I think this one is about at least 500 liters, maybe even bigger, maybe 700 liters. It's big. And I'm only short. I'll show you. See? It's a pretty high freezer. So it's always very awkward to reach the items. And a few years ago, or maybe last year, I invested in those stackable boxes and put them in. And in general, the system works. But when I want to take something from underneath out, I gotta pull out the whole box. And because they don't have handles, it is quite difficult and heavy. And I have to half fall into the freezer to do that. So not ideal. So what I have done, I have invested in some rubbish bins from IKEA with a handle. They're stackable, they have a lid, and I should be able to easily pull things out. I've chosen this size and a smaller size to put them on top of each other. They did have a larger size, but I was too worried that the larger size will be too heavy for me. And I cannot reach the bottom of the freezer. I'm too short, I just can't reach. So I will have to pull it out. I'll show you how the freezer looks like right now. And then I'll clean it up and I'll show you how it looks like afterwards. So this is the freezer from the inside. Yes, I know it's pretty bad. I do know that I have underneath this basket here, I've got all my baking supplies. I do know that under here I have all of my meats and here all my vegetables and fruit. And there's a couple of things I just bought and chucked on top because I couldn't really be bothered. So as you can see, I would have to take a lot of things out if I want to get to the bottom. And this is about, I reckon this is probably about 80 centimeters high. So it is, yeah, maybe 85. Yeah, so it is quite big. And I do have a lot of stuff in here. Why do I have so much stuff in my freezer? Because we live about half an hour out of town. And I prefer to have a good stocked up freezer to be able to access food if there is a weather emergency, such as flooding or cyclone. There's currently, for example, there's a cyclone brewing on the coast. And that might lead to some flooding, which would mean that I would be unable to get into town. We do have a generator connected to the house, so we always have power. And I also have this thing here as a precaution. So this is a glass jar, which I filled with water, and then let the water freeze, and then put a coin on top of it. So if that coin would sink in the glass, I would know that we had issues with the freezer. But see, it's on top, there's no water over it, so I know that I'm safe. And now I'm going to empty this all out, pack it into the boxes, clean it up, defrost it, and we'll see how it looks like afterwards. So I'm finished with reorganizing my freezer. It didn't quite work the way I wanted originally, and I will explain why in a second. But I am really happy with the system. Doesn't look great, probably. I'll show you later on. I'll show you from above. But I bought these bags at Amazon. I'll put the link down in the description box below, and they're perfect. They're quite big, sturdy bags, and they're easy enough to take out. So what I have done, actually take you in the hand. So I finished organizing my freezer. Didn't quite work out the way I originally thought, but I'm satisfied. I'm happy. This is probably the best organization I have ever had. So unless you can come up with something else, let me know, and I'm happy to try it out. So the chest freezer is very deep. I can't reach the bottom of it. It's yeah, it's pretty massive. So I bought these bins from IKEA. They in two different sizes. So those are the mid-sized ones, and then these are the smaller ones. I think they're only 10 liters. And originally I had thought I just buy another one and put it on top of here, but it actually didn't fit because of the way they sit on top of each other. I couldn't get them in. So I had to come up with something else, but I do really like them for the bottom. Like, they're still easy enough. They have a handle and I can just pull them out if I need to and can reorganize them or look what's in there. They open up, you know, like this, or I can open up the whole thing and I have everything in here. I labeled them not quite correctly. I have to change these two small ones, but this is quite good. I still have the basket with, you know, some ice cream hubby sort of takes every now and then, and his bread, because he's often eats this kind of bread, so he can just easily take it out. And below I've got a box with all of my fruits, you know, my bananas, my passion fruit, grapefruit, and all of that. And it's in one of those boxes which fitted there perfectly. So, and then I bought on Amazon, I bought some of these bags, and I basically just put them in here like that. They quite big and they are sturdy, but I can easily take them out. So I put them back all in there. Just give me a sec. And then it looks like this. So in here I've got all of my pre-cooked dinners, which I already have prepared at an earlier stage. This is sort of a bit of a miscellaneous one. Here is all my vegetables, and here is some more meat. So yeah, like I said, they're easy enough to just take out, and because they're flexible, you know, I can push them around and still access the bins underneath. And this really works quite well. This is the best, like I said, I've ever had it organized. I really like those bags, and they came from Amazon in a packet of 10, I think. In regards to my flour, I'll show you what I do there. So I normally get my flour in bulk, 12.5 kilograms, and then I put it in the freezer for at least 48 hours to kill any potential weevil eggs. And then I decant them into those plastic bags. I reuse them. So once one is empty, I put it back in there, and then when I get a new big bag, I reuse them to fill them back up again. These are from Bunnings, these boxes. They have a seal. They have like a lot of rocks here, and they're waterproof. So I thought if they're waterproof, they must be vermin proof as well. So basically they're vacuum packed in here. I've got some flour in the back as well. This here is rye and spelt flour and some sugar in the back. And then I've got another one here of just plain flour, some baker's flour and some wholemeal flour in this one here. But yeah, like I said, I normally do put the flour in the freezer for about 48 hours to kill the weevil eggs, and then I put it in here. I haven't had the issue with ants, and here's sugar. Like normally if I in the kitchen, hubby leaves his teaspoon out on the sink, we will have ants. And there's 1, 2, 3 kilos of sugar in there and no ants. So they seem to work, and like I said, they're waterproof. So if water can't get in, sure, ants can't get in. And this is my flour storage. So when I need to bake and I need, you know, my flour, I just grab one of these bags and fill it into my container, into my glass container I have in the kitchen, and then put the empty bag back in here for refilling next time. So yeah, this is how I organized my freezer and my flour. My flour used to live in the freezer and it took up a lot of space, which is kind of annoying. In the moment I'm trying to get rid of everything in the freezer and then fill it up with half a beef of beef and a pork and some chickens. So a pig, not a pork, sorry. Half a side of beef, a pig and some chickens. So that's why I'm trying to empty stuff, and that's why I actually have some meat, you know, just from the supermarket rather than from the butcher. I just need to create some more dishes to use all the other things, and then I've got more space because obviously, as you can imagine, half a side of beef is quite big. Any questions, let me know, but yeah, I'm really happy with this so far. I'll try to put the links of the stuff I'm using down below. There is no sponsoring here, I purchased this all myself. Bunnings and the bags. So this is the bag I normally use for the flour. I just, especially when I buy these small ones, I just put it in here. Put all the flour in for a few days. I mean, a minimum of 48 hours, but sometimes they're in there longer, doesn't matter. And then I'll take it out and put it in here, or like I said, I decant the larger bags I buy into these containers. So I hope that gave you some ideas. Let me know how you organise your deep chest freezer. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching. Bye.